Mexico world has a World Press Freedom Index of 144 out of 180. The Uncensored Library is honoring the 12 killed Mexican journalists and their sacrifices for press freedom. Although not at war, Mexico is one of the deadliest countries for journalists and even surpassing Syria. Collusion between officials and organized crime poses a grave threat to journalist safety and cripples the judicial system at all levels. Journalists who cover sensitive political stories or organized crime are warned, threatened, and often gunned down in cold blood. Others are abducted and never seen again. The years after 2006 saw a record number of murders and disappearances of journalists, as well as the systematic impunity for these crimes. Some flee abroad as the only way to ensure their survival, while others censor themselves in fear of the deadly consequences. One of Mexico's killed journalists was Javier Valdez. He was the founder of the newspaper Rio Doce, a weekly publication dedicated to crime and corruption in Sinaloa, one of Mexico's most violent states. He was also the author of several books on drug trafficking. Valdez was killed in May of 2017 on the 23rd by an unidentified government. He was 50 years old. Read what Javier Valdez had to in this room, in the middle of the room. Normally, I would go right in and start reading, but part of the reason I turned the music off was I wanted to have a moment of silence, just to honor these fallen journalists. Between the Furrows, February 23rd, 2014, by Javier Valdez Cardenas, Rio Doce. Jose's only childhood memories are of green, leafy furrows and more furrows. The bush has so many leaves that parts look like an attractive fist, fragile and inviting. In between the furrows of the always humid, exposed ready soil waiting for rains and seed, his sister plays with dolls, he plays with cars, the spinning top or marbles. Jose finds himself in a dilemma. Jose does not know if he's going to sell this year's harvest to the village above or the one below. He doesn't explain his doubt. He is overwhelmed by heartache that makes the other type of furrows grow, those bottomless ones. Those on the brow, its pot. His parents, uncles, and neighbors, all the village, once grew marijuana. Over there, on the top of the mountain, on the hillsides, the patios, on the roadside, beyond the mountain, in the forest, a few meters from the river, above the ravine below, his youngest sister made dresses for her black, blonde, and skinny, fulsome dolls. She stripped them, and then she began dressing them again with clothes she made from cast-offs, discarded by her mother when she sewed. Pillowcases, curtains, quilters, some dress or another. He bought marbles from Doña Chona's house, Doña Chona's store. Misty marbles colored green, orange, and red in the center, or black like the rumbling thunder clouds bringing rain. For the furrow celebration, the weed, the harvest, the plant, with its many festive fists, he only had a few toy cars. Some were wood, others were iron. They had all been roughed up, beaten, chipped, paintwork from so many play crashes. They were his toys, pursuing his lips and then blowing out air like a never-ending fart, mimicking the sounds of an engine, the sputtering sound of a wooden car. His oldest. Now, though, he's a tired old man. Those furrows are waterlogged from the abundant summer rains there on his land, on the other people's land too. Where the water buildups, they are now constructing a dam. They will bring tourists for rides, buy lunches for rent, launches for rent, and devote themselves to farming freshwater fish. He is seated on a board, close to what he used to have and has. He now no longer belongs to him or anyone else. He recalls, and his eyes mist up, surrounded by wrinkles, and even more bottomless, those furrows, that weed. His sister playing with the dolls and giving them paper for food. Him with his toy cars and the marbles. But now nothing's left. Just 2 tons of his hidden marijuana. If he sells it to the villagers above him, the villagers below will kill them. If he sells it to the villagers below, the others will kill him, and then he won't have any cars or money. Again, a moment of silence for the fallen.